Hi there, my name is Verity, and in this video, I'm going to teach you the E2 super method for two PTE listening tasks: select missing word and highlight correct summary. Let's start with select missing word. This is what it's going to look like on test day. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward multiple choice type question. But there is a bit of a difference with this one, and that is you're going to listen to an audio file and the final word or final phrase is going to be replaced by a beep sound. Make sense? Let's answer a practice question. Ready?
Great leaders are the ones who think beyond short-term versus long-term. They are the ones who know it's not about the next quarter or the next election, but about the next.
Are you confident that you got that answer right? Let me make it a little bit simpler for you. I'm going to turn that question into a reading type of question. I will give you 20 seconds to read the transcript of what you just listened to, and I want you to select the word that would finish this paragraph in the best possible way. Okay? Your 20 seconds start now. Okay, hopefully you chose B, generation. That's the correct answer. So it says great leaders are the ones who think beyond short-term versus long-term. They are the ones who know it's not about the next quarter or the next election, but about the next generation. So we could only get that answer, B, generation, from the entire context of the transcript itself. You couldn't just guess. In other words, you have to listen to the whole audio and you have to understand all of it in order to finally anticipate what the final word will be. So on test day, you'll get 2 of 3 of these. As I mentioned, it's a multiple choice style question, and you'll have between 3 and 5 answer options. The number of words for each answer option will be between 1 and 4. This task is a really good test of your listening, because if you're a really good listener and you're really listening intently to somebody, you should be able to anticipate what they're going to say. Now, be prepared that you might get a video on test day as well, not just an audio file. But don't be distracted by the visuals in the video. It's about listening. So let me teach you the E2 super method for select missing word. The first thing you should do is read the instruction. Reading the instruction is really important for this task in particular, because there's a little bit of language in there that is going to help you a lot. Then you should glance at the answer options. You're going to be listening very carefully, and you're also going to be watching the timer, because as the timer gets close to being finished, you'll know that the beep sound is going to play. And that's when you're going to have to listen for the little word or phrase. Then you select an answer option and finish by clicking next. It's quite a simple method, but for this task, the most important tip that will help you is the first step. This is because the instruction will tell you what the audio will be about. So, here's that question we looked at earlier. If you look up here, you can see that it says that you will hear an audio about leadership. This is pretty helpful, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't have any idea what that audio is going to be about before it starts playing. Knowing that you're going to hear an audio file about leadership or politics or education or whatever is helpful. It gets your brain ready to hear the vocabulary about that topic. So let's put this into practice. We're going to do 3 practice questions. Let's start with the easy one. Ready? You'll have 7 seconds to read the instructions. Go.
Italy is the home of the espresso, and the Italian definition of espresso, according to the Italian Espresso Institute, states that you begin with some 6.5 to 7.5 grams of ground coffee. You then force hot water through this ground coffee at a temperature of 86 to 90 degrees Celsius and at a pressure of some 9 atm. Do this for about 20 to 30 seconds, and you should end up with around 23 to 27 milliliters of dark hot coffee.
So, how did you go? Let's have a closer look at this one again. Here's the transcript. All of these words here, like beans, aroma, taste, and liquid, relate to coffee. So they're all similar or related. However, as we get to the end, the audio mentions milliliters. Milliliters of dark hot chocolate something. What could it be? What would be the only possibility here if it's measured in milliliters? Well, it would have to be liquid. Hopefully you chose D. But let's now move on to a trickier question. I'll give you 7 seconds to read the instructions again.
So 30 or 40 years ago, people thought that babies' minds were a blank slate or a blooming, buzzing confusion. Even the greatest developmental psychologist, Jean Piaget, thought that babies were irrational and amoral and egocentric, didn't understand very much about the world. And in the past 30 years or so, we've discovered that just the opposite of that is true. In many respects, even the youngest babies are...
All right, this one was a little bit harder than the coffee one, don't you think? Let's have a closer look at it. Again, here's the transcript. For this one, the correct answer seemed unlikely, but for the other 3 answer options, they were definitely just wrong. So Jean Piaget thought that babies were irrational, amoral, and egocentric. In the past 30 years, we've discovered just the opposite of that is true. In many respects, even the youngest babies are smarter than grown-ups. Think about that as a process to get to the correct answer. That is, eliminate incorrect answer options. Even if one of the answer options seems a little bit absurd or unlikely, if you've eliminated the other 3, then it must be correct. So, let's read the final sentence. In many respects, even the youngest babies are smarter than grown-ups. And that answer comes from this part here. We've discovered that just the opposite of that is true. What you would have noticed here is that each of those answer options are grammatically plausible. That is, they all fit grammatically. But remember, this isn't a test of your grammar, it's a test of meaning. Let's do one more. This one is going to be hard. You have 7 seconds before the audio plays.
What about the forgeries? Can you tell immediately?
They are often extremely good. In fact, there is quite a prominent example. I think it was in 1991 at a Sotheby's sale in New York. There was an important auction of African art, and there was this one in the form of a ram, and it sold for quite a lot of money. And an investigation by a Belgian journalist revealed that the back half of it was the original part, and the whole front half had been modelled by a local potter in Bamako. I mean, it's a testament to the skill of these forgers. They are actually...
Okay, that one was pretty tough because it was using some uncommon, sophisticated vocabulary. Let's have a look at the transcript here. So the key phrase that really gives away the answer there is the final sentence, which says, I mean, it's a testament to the skill of these forgers. They are actually extremely good artists. This would be the most appropriate way to finish the sentence and the paragraph. So hopefully you got B there, and hopefully you found that simple method useful for select missing word. If you're needing more practice questions for select missing word, check out e2language.com. It has everything you need to help you get a high score in PTE. Let's now move on to highlight correct summary. On test day, you might see something like this. As you can see, this is another multiple choice type question. And this one has a video. Like select missing word, you can get a video file with audio or just an audio file. If you do get a video on test day, Remember, this is a listening task. You don't really need to pay attention to the visuals of the video. So on test day, you'll get 2 or 3 of these. The number of multiple choice answer options varies from 3 to 5. The length of each of those answer options is between 40 and 60 words. This poses a problem, but the method that I'm about to teach you will get around that problem. Because the answer options are so long, this particular task actually contributes points to both listening and reading. The difficulty of this task comes from trying to hear and understand the audio whilst reading and remembering the answer options. It's really challenging because there's a conflict in your brain because basically you cannot do these 2 things at the same time. So let me teach you this method. First, listen and take notes. You should be able to take notes while you listen, to transcribe and summarize the information that you hear. If you're good at taking notes, it should help clarify what you're listening to. The next step once you've listened to the full audio and taken notes is to eliminate or get rid of answer options that are off topic or contradictory. That is, the information in them was the opposite of what the speaker said, or not the opposite, but doesn't gel very well. Finally, what you'll do is use your notes and your memory to select the correct answer. So now what I want you to do is to try out the method. Remember, listen and take notes. Eliminate off-topic or contradictory answer options. Then, finally, use your notes and memory to select the correct answer. Let's do it. Listen to the lecture and try to select the right answer.
With us in the studio today is Dr. Gavin Matter, child psychologist and author of Raising Kids. So I'd like to start by asking about children and their attachment relationships.
Yes, well, first of all, let's look at what attachment is. And basically, it is closeness with another human being. And it's important for us as adults. We are programmed biologically to connect with other people and form emotional attachments. You just need to think about how devastating it can be when our closest attachment relationships are severed, or even just threatened. As adults, we can be devastated and we may even tailspin into depression or illness. Now, looking at children, recent research shows that an optimal environment for child rearing was achieved in hunter-gatherer societies. And what you have in those societies is not isolated parents living in a nuclear family setting, separate from extended family, from clan, from culture. What you have back then is much broader parenting arrangements.
It takes a whole village to raise a child.
Yes, exactly.
All right, how did you go doing that? Let me show you my notes. They look like this. You can see that they are not full sentences. They're not even full words or phrases. I've written things like Dr. G matter, psych, kids, attachment, closeness, bio for biology or biological, emotion, severed equals depression, opti like optimal, enviro. I've even spelt that wrong. But it doesn't matter. Hunter-gath as in gatherer, soc as in societies, not nuclear fam, extend, broad parenting, and village. So what happened here is that all the information has come into my brain and I've written out these notes to help me because after I finished writing them, I moved on to read the answer options very carefully. So here's the transcript. The answer for this task is A. The best summary of that interview is, in fact, Dr. Matter suggests that the best environment for raising children is one where extended families are involved. This broadens parenting arrangements and satisfies the need to be close to other human beings. The other answer options were just not quite right. They were a little bit off topic. They weren't what that speaker said, and some of the information may have been contradictory. So that's how you do highlight correct summary. Hopefully you found that practice useful. Remember, if you're looking for more practice questions for this task, sign up for a package or free trial at e2language.com. Thanks for watching and good luck with your upcoming test.